we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a cath hound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody? What do you want? You won't find anything there except on the lowest sub-level, and there you'll only find death. Lagreks are everywhere. I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sub-level, and we get swarmed by Lagreks. And even then we fight our way out. But of course the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even know why I bothered. I'm not going to tell you that. If you do rescue him, you'll just have to claim on the salvage. Jedi artifacts are rare enough these days without some newcomer coming in. So stay out of it, and we won't have a problem. Are you kidding? Of course we aren't. He's on his own. I only wish he didn't have the salvage on him. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us, and get down to our business.
What do you want now? Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there. Scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other.
And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me.
Ready?
Let's go.
Someone out there? Anybody? Help! Lagreks are everywhere! Help me! I'm trapped in here! Yes, I am. I locked the door in here. I thought I was gonna be Lagrek compost. Did you take care of him, stranger? You must be fierce with a blaster, then. Give me a moment. I sort of jammed the door a bit. Just don't leave.
Thanks for saving me. I thought those Lagreks had me for sure. What are you talking about? I'm not giving you anything. That's just too bad for you. I'm going. You got it.
Daddy?
What's going on?
Like that? Let's move out.
Let's go.
I'll have this open in no time.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I'd heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them. The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. And once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left. Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. I wished to preserve what I could. Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, they had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and records, but I do not know why. Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi, and even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history. Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater trouble shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolie Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Keldroma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed. Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defied the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings, or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulik, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to her apprentice Malak, who turned on her. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in her conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince her of the rightfulness of their actions. Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of her training, she sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that she returned to her first master at the end of her training, in order to learn how she might best leave the Order. What else would you like to... I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim. Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come. Dantooine was one of the few Republic worlds on the Outer Rim. It is why the Republic is attempting to get the settlement up and running. Dantooine is within reach of several other Rim worlds, and the Republic will need it as a resupply post if they are to keep a presence on the Rim. What else would you like to... Someone has been taking the situation on more so than the... What else would you like? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to... Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why? If the Sith are rising in the galaxy again, then it is strange the Jedi would not be there to meet them, and that we have not seen more evidence of the Sith. No, I believe you. I merely find such subtleties among the Sith to be strange. They have been known to practice deception, but in the histories, since the time of the Dark Lords Khoon and Keldroma, and Revan and Malak, such subtleties have been rare. In any case, it seems to me like our goals are compatible. If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills to helping you find the answers you seek.
Are you sure you want to take this guy with us? I mean, he's easy on the eyes, but he talks like a room full of Jedi.
I am ready.
opening!
I have this open in no time. Child's play. I have this open in no time. Child's play.
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and associates. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless. So, this is your threat? Is terror what I'm supposed to feel? We know a thing about Jedi and their ways. And now, Jedi, we shall fight.
Defend yourself!
Yes, General?
Together then! You have left me an opening! Together then!
Defend yourself!
Jaren knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different if he was in our situation.
What? Who is that? Oh, you go down into the sub-levels yet? Or did you... It's a shame about them. Have any luck getting to their bodies? I figure there's about no chance you'll succeed, but the reward is still open. Yeah, you managed to find them down there? You're tougher than you look. I have 1,000 credits for their bodies and their personal effects. And no reward, too. You've proven very helpful. I have to go take care of something. I'll talk with you later.
don't suppose you're here to hire us.
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. This isn't kidnapping, this is bounty hunting. This Jedi is worth a lot of credits on Nar Shaddaa, and we're collecting. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-herding head. Unless you want to wind up dead. Leave now. I've followed my orders, and nothing you can offer will change that. Besides, we're gonna get rich off the bounty for this Jedi. I warned you, but I'm glad you didn't listen. Attack, men!
Together then!
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Is this a joke to you? People's lives are at stake. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the smallest choice has the potential for harm. The Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing if a greater tragedy is caused. Did you think rushing into battle against the Mandalorians did anything but bring more harm to the galaxy? It only served to bring about a second war more dangerous than the first. Countless Jedi died in both conflicts, and everyone who followed Revan and Malak died or returned to the dark side. Except, conveniently, you. You were always difficult to read, as a Padawan, and again at your trial, and perhaps more so now that we are here on Dantooine. If you wish to prove yourself, then do so. Kunda's in danger and they need our help. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment, and now since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adari. Time is of the essence.
Jedi I've heard reports of. And I am Mascot, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. That is correct, and I want you to help me. You don't need to know the details, but I can tell you there are a lot of credits involved. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind that I will collect on unless you're working for me. Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
Something you need of me?
Yeah?
What do you want now?
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. We've had enough of it.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment.
Insorana kami. Juta ko Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. I've had enough of it for a lifetime.
I see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though. Vrook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time, so they can get to safety. Though if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will be safe for settlers for long. Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. If you can do anything to ready them for the reality of it, that would be helpful. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and that alone could make a significant difference. Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down could turn the tide of battle. I have instructed the militia and other Kunda personnel that you are to be provided with anything that can be spared. Unfortunately, that isn't much. Here is a mastercard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might aid you in your task, please use. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron.
Something you need of me?
Let's go. Thanks, stranger. I should be back to... I feel better. Thanks. Thanks, stranger.
Let's go.
Charanana Gundoso Remi. Charanana Gundoso Remina che l'oraktu puro katpada. Teriwana Jun Konata Dela Raguno Tuna. Dai Rinto Runka Rekare Papanala Ramshinga. There Rinto Runto Wakare Koya Wapiarebu. Enso Telepachan Gorsadarane Gra Delunut. Teriwana Jun Konata Dela Raguno Tuna. Dai Rinto Runka Rekare. There Rinto Runto Wakare Koya Wapi. Teriwana Jun Konata Dela Raguno Tuna. Dai Rinto Runka Rekare Papa. There Rinto Runto Wakare.
So it seems one does not need to be in touch with the Force to act with compassion. It may seem like a small act you did, but some things travel, and more good may come from it. I am honored to have seen a Jedi behave as a Jedi. It was not something I still expected to see in this galaxy. As you wish. Let us continue on then.
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. Had enough of it for a lifetime.
I was right about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? So you did. Here's the credits I told you about. Even with the caves cleared, I imagine it'll take some time before the Kinrath aren't on the plains. That was very helpful of you. Save some lives. Mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize. You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. All right. Then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the Administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The Administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words. All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. You're much better with words than me. I think it'll really help. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, All of Dantooine falls with us.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the administrator to her fate. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. She will pay for it. Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. The galaxy doesn't tolerate weakness. I was trained at Malak's Academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
So much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from evil. I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior, and I am very grateful to you. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. I may have mistrust. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot. And we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far, they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. You have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. Though it seems unlikely the Sith would bother with you. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. Do you have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you are bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not. Still, you and your... It is possible that returning to known... You have more questions? I suppose there is something I should show you that will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. I hesitate to teach this to you because of your demonstrated recklessness. This is Juyo, a very ferocious form of lightsaber offense. It goes without saying to exercise proper control and restraint when using this technique. It may allow you to eviscerate a lone enemy, but it will leave you open to attack by Force powers. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
those mercenaries were pushovers.
The more worlds we travel to, the more questions I have. It's not just the hardships of the people, but something more. You are right. There is something more at work here. Yes. These dead worlds, they have a pattern to them. They were all touched by the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War. But sometimes, well, I feel as if they are all connected in some other way. The attacks on Kotor, Telos itself, the decay on Dantooine. Something is wrong with life. The connections have been damaged, sickened. Sometimes I feel like I almost understand and then it just slips away.
So close.
No, I do not. I do think there is some greater plan at work here. Perhaps. Dantooine is only one of the worlds. It was only the start of the journey. I would like to study the other locations. It is curious that the Jedi Masters chose those worlds to travel to. I wonder if the two are linked. I know not how.
Yes. Is there something you have come to offer me? You may speak. You have done well, and the stability you have caused shall be rewarded. I have arranged a transfer of funds from certain interests within the Republic to you. There is the stabilization of Dantooine, the preservation of the restoration efforts on Telos, the political resolution on Onderon, and the unification of a religious power base in the galaxy, either Jedi or Sith.
Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. Talk. Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks, already had one. No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I...
We must go to Dantooine, to the Enclave. There is something there that you must hear if you are to understand. I have no time for questions, and any answers will have to wait until we stand within the Enclave together. We must go. I have no time for...
My life for your...
Yes, General? I feel a sense of... It's nothing, just something that opened my eyes. Ask me about it some other time. Was there something you wanted? Let's go.
It is different. It has been some time. Forgive me, but I need to rest. Go on. The council awaits. I will remain here. Yes, afraid for you. As I always have been, I will be fine here. Whatever answers the council have are for you alone. I am tired. The journey has been a long one, and I need to center myself. Know that much may happen here, but above all, do not forget this. You may trust in me. We cradle each other's lives, and what threatens one of us threatens us both. And if you find you cannot trust me, trust in your training, trust in yourself. Never doubt what you have done. All your decisions have brought you to this point. And now, perhaps, they shall see what you have become.
It is not as it was.
But perhaps that is for the best.
We were wondering when you would arrive. This moment has taken some time to reach us, and I imagine you have many questions.
Or perhaps you have come for revenge. We cast you out of the Order because you followed Revan to war. There was no other reason.
No, there was another. You had become different somehow.
changed. The war had changed you.
You were no longer a Jedi, but we could not tell you why. Some explanations mean nothing unless the one who suffers comes to the answer on their own. What had happened to you was punishment enough, and the Jedi do not kill their prisoners.
And if you had stayed, you would have changed us, and that we could not allow.
You already know the answer. You've noticed it in those who travel with you.
Have you noticed that when you act, others follow?
Those that travel with you.
They follow you, without question, without hesitation.
Against their instincts, and sometimes against their sense.
It is because you are a leader, but that still fails to grasp the meaning of what I'm trying to tell you.
It is not an easy thing to explain. Surely you are familiar with force bonds. It is the bond that develops between apprentice and master when one truly understands another. It is developed over time through understanding of each other. Yet you do it so easily, and we do not know why.
You make connections through the Force, and it resonates with those who travel with you. The resonance is even greater when they, too, are Force-sensitive.
Your actions affect others more than you know. You draw others to you, especially those strong in the Force.
When you suffer, their spirit echoes it. And when they are in pain, their pain becomes yours. We do not know, but it is not the first time you felt the weight of so many lives.
And that is why the Mandalorian Wars echo within you still.
We did not cut you off from the Force. You were merely deafened to it. Because of that last battle of the Mandalorian Wars.
The screams of countless thousands, Jedi and Mandalorians, crushed by the planet's gravity, annihilated.
Their lives still scream across the surface of that dead planet, and within you, to hear the Force over such pain. It is not possible. It was too much for any Jedi to endure. And it is a wonder that you did not die there when thousands perished. All those you had fought with and struggled with. You cut yourself off because you had to if you were to survive. You had hints of it in the war on Doxum. Malachor was simply the final blow.
You were deafened.
At last, you could hear.
You were broken.
You were whole.
You were blinded.
And at last, you saw.
When you returned to us, we saw what had happened. You carry all those deaths at Malachor within you. And it has left a hole, a hunger that cannot be filled.
In you, we saw a wound in the Force.
In you, we saw the end of the Force.
Yes, you can feel the Force, but you cannot feel yourself. You are a cipher, forming bonds, leeching the life of others, siphoning their will and dominating them. It is the teaching of these new Sith to feed on others, on other Force sensitives. They are symptomatic of the wound in the Force. You are a breach that must be closed. You transmit your pain, your suffering through the Force. Within you we see something worse than merely the teachings of the Sith. What you carry may mean the death of the Force, and the death of the Jedi. So you think. It is not the strength of a Jedi you feel.
He's right. It's all the death you've caused to get here. You feed on it, and you grow stronger. You're like Malachor. It's in you, it's what you are now. You must have noticed as you fought across all these planets, killing hundreds, only to become more and more powerful. Why do you think that was?
But what's worse is that bonding you have. It hasn't gone away. It's gotten stronger, and the more attachments you form, the more you draw others to you.
And that is why you are a threat to us all. What if other Jedi went to war as you did, suffered the same events, and emerged as you did? What if there was a crucible that trained such Jedi to consume and kill?
For you, Malachor was that crucible.
What's worse is these Sith that we face. I fear that they have learned the lesson of Malachor all too well. It is what allows them to prey on Force users, to become stronger when Force sensitives are near.
Somehow they have learned their hunger from you. And so you have brought about the end of the Jedi, and perhaps all the knowledge of the Force. But it is of no consequence. Your ability to make such connections, such bonds so easily are why you cannot remain. You are a threat to living creatures and all who feel the Force.
You will lead the Sith here, and that we cannot allow.
Our judgment before remains. Exile. You must leave. And you must leave without your tie to the Force. It is a punishment reserved for only a few, and only when necessary. But we have the power to cut you off from the Force, and it must be done.
Forgive us, but it is necessary.
Do not be afraid. You shall feel no pain, but this must be done. As long as you feel the Force, you are a danger to those around you.
Enough! Step away from her.
What?
Step away! She has brought truth, and you condemn it. The arrogance. You will not harm her. You will not harm her ever again.
I thought you had died in the Mandalorian Wars.
Die? No. Became stronger. Yes.
Is this your new master, Exile? If so, then you follow Revan's path. Her teachings will cause you to fall as surely as she did.
We sought to lure the Sith out, and now they have come to us.
As you would pass judgment on her, I have come to pass judgment on you all. Do you wish to feel the teachings born of the Mandalorian Wars? Of all tragedies that scream across the galaxy? Let me show you. You, who have forever seen the galaxy through the Force. See it through the eyes of the Exile. How could you ever hope to know the threat you face when you have never walked in the dark places of the galaxy, faced war and death on such a scale? If you had traveled far enough, rather than waiting for the echo to reach you, perhaps you would have seen it for what it was. There is a place in the galaxy where the dark side of the Force runs strong. It is something of the Sith, but it was fueled by war. It corrupts all that walks on its surface, drowns them in the power of the dark side. It corrupts all life, and it feeds on death. Revan knew the power of such places, and the power in making them. They can be used to break the will of others, of Jedi, promising them power and turning them to the dark side. Did you never wonder how Revan corrupted so many of the Jedi, so much of the Republic, so quickly? The Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion, culminating in a final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from, save one. And that is what I sought to understand. How one could turn away from such power, give up the Force, and still live. But I see what happened now. It is because you were afraid. It is done. She is no more. Take me to Atris. She will have the strength to do what the Council cannot.
She's gone. The handmaidens came for her. They know who she is now. They'll take her to Telos, and Atris will do what she'll do with anyone she thinks is a Sith. Yeah, I know. That's what I was afraid you'd say.
Is something wrong? You look troubled. I can feel it. I do not understand what you mean. Never. I believe in what we are doing, what you are doing. I'm here because I choose to be. I simply do. There is nothing I can show you as proof, except give you my word. Something happened within the Enclave. What is it? Then they do not understand you. That is the danger of being a Jedi. When one separates themselves from others, chooses to lead a life of isolation, denying what makes them a feeling being, it is easy to make such judgments. And such judgments, I believe, are made in ignorance. There is no danger in what you represent, other than your humanity. You change others, but I do not believe it is due to the Force. I believe it is because you are a natural leader, and because you feel connected to the people around you. Where they look at you and see the death of the Force, I look at you and see hope for all life. And that perhaps a life lived without the Force is not the punishment it is believed to be. I will understand if you feel you must go alone. I ask that you do not. Instead, take strength from your connections to others. Do not forsake them, as you did in exile.
Who is there?
Who I am is not the question.
I am Atris, Jedi Master, the last historian of the Jedi, the last of the Jedi.
Those are titles, words you cling to as the darkness falls around you.
You are that which has attacked the Jedi. You are Sith.
Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. Know that there was once a Darth Treya, and that she cast aside that role, was exiled, and found a new purpose. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith. But there is not enough truth in such teachings. But it will be a step for you.
How did it happen?
Search your heart. It was never battle that called to you, never battle that caused you to fall. Alakor 5 has touched many things, and it casts its echoes still.
Why did she betray me?
You betrayed yourself. Do not blame the exile. And unlike you and I, there is still a chance that one may be saved. The one that you cast out.
Where is the exile? I had thought...
Oh, she will come, but it will be too late to save either of us. It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it. Your mistress awaits. She has much to share with you.
She said you would come here, to this place. If you think you can defeat me here, you are wrong. All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and the Force, they are mine to command. And if I must use it to end you, I will. Surrender. You need not die. Surrender to you, never. Let us end this. Kill me. End this. I did not expect mercy from you. Here, at the end, after all that has happened between us. If you will not kill me, then what will you do? Where she walks is hidden from my eyes, but not from those of her kind. It is possible I may draw one last piece of knowledge from these holocrons. You always knew where they were striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths. All those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life. Until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us. Yes, I had thought she was awaiting me at that place, but I see now that she lied. It was not meant for me, but for you. She has gone there. She is waiting for you to travel to Malachor 5, to finish what you started. This knowledge of the Sith and the Jedi is what I am. It is my attempt to hold on to the past, to try and protect the future. Once I was a historian, the chronicler of the Jedi, and when both wars passed me by, I was determined that I would not forsake battle again. In some part of me, I knew I had made choices, compromises, but always for the sake of the Republic, of the galaxy. To do what you had done, at times, did not seem so wrong. You're right. The Jedi were all that seemed left to me, and yet I had become so far removed from them that I betrayed them. You always knew where they were striking from. These Sith are spawned of you, spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths, all those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life, until nothing is left. And what will you do with me now? Abandon me here on this dead world, or end my life as I wish to end yours? I tied my life, my decisions to the Jedi. Perhaps only in separating myself from the Jedi can I become myself again, learn who I am. Perhaps exile is what I deserve, even though it is many years too late and you have already returned. Leave now, while you can. Save Telos. Save the galaxy. Save yourself.
Well, what do we have here?
I didn't believe it when Lino reported the Ebon Hawk at dock, but I guess it really has.
Though given the trouble we've been having, maybe I shouldn't be surprised to see you. Lieutenant Gren, Sith forces have breached the module and are attempting to pen us up in the compound.
Damn! Zeron, I need you and your men to break through and lead the assault.
With pleasure, Lieutenant. All right, follow me.
It came out of nowhere. A fleet of warships dropped out of hyperspace, and before we could scramble fighters to intercept them, we were under attack. There were Sith fighters everywhere. And the few flights we sent out were barely launched when the bombardment began. We did our best, but we couldn't stop the landing craft that followed the initial wave. We couldn't hold back the Sith troops. We chose to retreat and began the evacuation instead. Then there's also the fuel situation. Because we don't have enough fuel, we won't be able to keep the station in orbit and operational and fight off the Sith at the same time. We'll try to make the best of what we have left, but it's going to be cutting it pretty close.
The Sith numbers seem limitless, but we haven't lost all hope. We've heard reports that we might be receiving some assistance.
If you need to get to the Ravager, then you're gonna have to fight your way to the shuttle from here to the entertainment module, then make your way to the docking shuttle. Good luck.
I hear you.
I must leave you for a time to gather my Mandalorian warriors. We will rejoin you when the time comes for the assault on the Ravager. Don't worry about me. I can handle myself just fine. Look after your own
My life is yours.
Yeah?
The honor is mine.
What's going on?
All right, men. The Sith are trying to hold us up in this compound. We need to break through or our reinforcements won't be able to move out. Now let's punch a hole in this Sith barricade. If you want to get through to the eastern part of the module, you better get going.
My life is yours. My life is yours.
Thank goodness you're here. You just can't seem to make any progress against the Sith line. After they established their position, they brought out their turrets. They've been devastating our numbers. We managed to take a few out, but they just keep unloading more of them to replace the destroyed ones. It's up to you to help us throw them back. We gotta get them cleared out of here, and then we're ready for one last charge. All right, everyone provide covering fire for the Jedi, then advance on the Sith positions. We'll be right behind you. Good luck.
Well, I'm not dead. I guess that's something. I got hit by a grenade. I just barely missed the whole blast. Ugh. They're moving ahead towards the TSF office. It's tough going, though. The Sith, they seem to be everywhere. Well, that's a relief. Of course, if we can't stop the Sith from destroying the fuel controls, it won't matter what... If I'm good enough to survive this, then I'm good enough to...
This area is secure. We can take it from here.
We will join you in the assault. These rank-and-file soldiers will do you no good aboard the Ravager. Let we Mandalorians lead the charge into battle and to victory. Galvor, Zuka, you will be joining us.
You will not face this alone. I will go with you and be by your side. I would have it no other way.
Are your preparations
Sir, Sith warship dead ahead of us. It's attacking Citadel Station.
Let's close the trap. Concentrate all fire on the warship and deploy red and blue wings to engage enemy fighters.
Sir, at this distance, our weapons will barely scratch it.
We can't hope to match its firepower, but we need to draw it away from Telos.
Sir, if it keeps firing on Citadel Station, the station won't be able to maintain its orbit.
I am aware of the situation, Lieutenant. I do not intend to lose Telos twice, and I know that ship. It was a Malachor 5.
breached the hull of the Sith vessel and are securing the area. The vessel has suffered extensive structural damage, but its particle fields still maintain a minimal atmosphere within the ship. And our cargo is being brought aboard. Soon, teams will be dispatched to the target sites. Do the Republic forces suspect? No, Mandalore. The proton cores do not emit a signature the Republic ships can detect. If they do pick up the signal, they will assume it to be emanating from the ship's missile bays. Did you get an ID signature on this vessel? You were right about the vessel, Mandalore. It is of Malachor. It still bears the wounds of Mandalorian guns. Then let's finish this. And remind the galaxy of Malachor 5.
What was that about?
Nothing you need to worry about, Sith.
You are coming with me.
Don't get all sentimental. I just don't trust you to get the job done. Been waiting for this for 10 years. It's just time to do things the old-fashioned way. signal received, Mandalore. The proton core is active. We still need to set 3 more charges. Mandalore, we're holding our position, but the Sith appear to be offering little resistance. It's like they don't even realize we're here. Target sites. Place the proton core, prime it, then give the signal, Mandalore. Arming signal received, Mandalore. The proton core is active. 2 more sites are left. We've lost contact with 2 of our squads, and we've had to fall back to the docking area.
My life for yours.
signal received, Mandalore. The proton core is active. Only one proton core remains to be set. We're encountering heavy resistance. I don't know how long we can hold out. What the hell was that? I told you to wait! Mandalore, we've made contact with the enemy, and one of the cores has detonated prematurely. Was it in the target zone? No, Mandalore. We have failed you. I offer you. Do we have another core? No, Mandalore. Even with the other two cores set in the ship, it will not be sufficient to destroy the vessel. We need to find another proton core, or we need to make one. All right. Wait for my signal. This isn't over. And don't kill yourself before I tell you.
This door leads to my cell. I had forgotten. If there is time, I would like to center myself. There is a meditation chamber within my cell that I will visit one last time. Past the surface, there's the force. Where once there was a world that was strong in force, now there is a barren wasteland. It has taken time for me to return here. I lost my way, but I've been stronger for the journey. What happens now shall not be done out of hate or revenge, but for the sake of all life. I ask you, finally, to forgive me. This body is a prison no longer. My life for you. I will answer what I can. It is not a subject. It was not a thing done with machine. For everyone that feels his power is, and those who feel the Force strongly are the Jedi. They succeeded, and my people died. We cannot deny, and now that the Jedi... I do not understand. They hope to see the threat that had been... I will answer what I can. The more I traveled with you, the more I learned more of myself, and I wish to thank you for sparing me when we first met.
You come to kill me. The final insult. Stripping Onderon, my soldiers, my home from me, only to have me die here. He happened. The hunger that fills this vessel. It is power, but it consumes without end. It is that power we felt on Onderon, that Vatlu felt. It was an echo, too strong to ignore. General Vatlu and I, when it seemed that we would need more to take Onderon, make it strong again. He came with his power, his soldiers. It seemed as if there was nothing we could not do. Nothing that we could do to stop us. There is nothing to be done, except wait. If you go to him, he will destroy you, and your last moments shall be of shadow. Onderon, but there's no longer any need. You are right. As long as he exists, Onderon is in danger. The galaxy is in danger. What would you have me do?
Go report to the target site, Colonel. I'll let my men know you're coming. And if you try anything stupid, they'll shoot you dead.
I will do as you ask, for Onderon's sake.
Such acts have their own strength about them. I had forgotten. It may seem that way, but perhaps it can become much more. I'm sorry, I did not mean to speak of it. Principles of sacrifice and charity. These are things I have not seen in some time. I'm afraid that it will weaken you for what comes. But I have said enough, and you do not need my counsel. Your actions should, as always, be your own.
Arming signal received, Mandalore. The proton core is active. That's the last of them, Mandalore. We can destroy the ship on your command.
to the bridge and my former master. If you wish to gather your strength, this is the last time. Is too powerful. I will try. I cannot hold him for long. With the Force and my eyes.
What the hell are you doing up there? We need to get off this ship, now!
I saw a graveyard world, surrounded by a fleet of dead ships. I felt it through him, as I feel it through you. You are my master now, and I will follow wherever your path takes you. My path is at an end.
Admiral Onasi wanted to speak with you, ma'am. Request, ma'am. As I understand it, there was something private he wished to ask you. Concerning, mutual acquaintance, I believe is how he put it.
It's a little beat up, but it's still home. I wasn't able to be here to protect it when the Sith attacked the first time. This time you gave me a second chance. I owe you. I've read your records, how the Jedi sentenced you for doing what you believed. You wandered past the Outer Rim during your exile. I ask you, did you find any trace of Revan? I served with her, like you did, and we had to part, like you did. She said that there were places where she had to walk where I could not go. Places that she could not bring those she loved. I've waited for her to come back for almost 4 years. It doesn't get any easier. No, she's not dead. I feel like I would know. There's just this emptiness where she used to be. I would have done anything she asked. And when she told me to stay here, to try to keep the Republic strong, that was the hardest thing of all. I don't know, but it was important to her. She said that she believed something had been behind the Mandalorian Wars, that it hadn't been the Mandalorians' choice to attack the Republic. Whatever it was, I think she went off to find it, to fight it. It was near the end of the Jedi Civil War, when it seemed like we were going to lose everything. We met on a Republic warship called the Endar Spire. It was being attacked over Terrace, and the Sith had stormed the ship. We saved the Republic, but it was like the war didn't end for her. She would keep remembering things that she had done, and it kept driving her. And she kept using it as a wall between us. And I think she finally remembered something terrible she had done during the Mandalorian Wars, and she went to put an end to it. She left without warning. She didn't say where, only that it was to a place where she could not take anyone she loved. And here you return, with her ship, without her. Yes, wherever she went, your ship's been there. If you return to that place, if you find some trace of Revan, no, simply tell her that Carth Onasi is waiting for her. Safe journey, exile.